Action speaks louder than words. Can you see this ginormous bump on my hand? You see that? It's not a regular arm shape right there. Okay, let's try again. This is actually the next morning. I need to refilm this video because allergy shots take everything out of me to fight it. The video honestly just looked a little bit too depressing to upload, so this is why I'm redoing it. What was that I'm trying to show you? Well, it's gone now, and that is my allergy shots. Why? Because this is a video to let you know what it is like to be allergic to animals. It's a such a sad topic for me. I would say when I was 7 years old, I went to go stay at my grandma's. And after, I think it was one day, I started getting hives all over my body, all over, crazy, huge face, everything. And I got rushed to the hospital and actually stayed in that hospital for a week, recovering from my hives. Why did I go crazy hives and stuff? Well, it turns out that my grandma used to have a cat, and she hasn't had the cat for like 7, 10 years, 15, but her house was still riddled with cat hair. They took the couch, they moved the couch, and right like behind and underneath the couch, tons of hairballs, everything of cat hair. And that's when my family realized that I am allergic to cats. And I took the allergy test a little bit later, and it turns out I'm allergic to all animals, which didn't seem like a big thing at the time until I started going to grade school, and everybody would talk about their pets, their dogs, their cats. Are you a cat person? Are you a dog person? What kind of person am I? Am I justified to say that I'm a cat or a dog person when I'm actually can't relate to either side of animal? And because I never had the animal, nor have I had the experience to see what it's like to live with an animal. I'm not trying to say that I'm cold-hearted or anything, but like the number one thing that drives people crazy in movies is when they see a dog get shot or die. And the people were tearing up and stuff. I could not relate because I don't know what it's like to see that animal or see that love relate connection type of thing. And I always felt like there was something off with me because I couldn't relate. And a lot of the friends I had when I went to grade school had pets, and the problem was I could never go to their houses for a sleepover. I can't go over to their houses for a birthday party because hives, hospital. It was that bad. And one of my best friends, Vinny, I used to go to his house all of the time, and then he got a dog, and it broke my heart because I was replaced with an animal. I could no longer go to his house or else, hospital. But that's okay, we still stayed friends. I would go to his house, I'd go to his birthday parties, but I would spend all of the time outside. If I went to inside, it would be for 5 minutes to eat some cake or something, and after 5 minutes, like my throat was getting like suffocated and I can barely breathe. It was rough. It was very rough. I don't know why anybody wanted to stay friends with me if I was allergic to like their best friend who lives in their house. And one of the most awkward things about being allergic to animals is when people go on their phones and they're like, oh, this is my puppy. It's part this, it's part that, Labradoodle, Cortal, Kurgi, shepherd thing, and then they're like, oh, well, this one was raised by these pets, and like people start going in this giant passionate conversation about their animals, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, I want to take interest, but I don't know what to ask, and I don't know how to ask it, and I can't even relate to this because I don't have or have lived with any pets in my entire life. But I can tell you one of the most amazing experience I have ever had was when I was traveling in Canada, and I was with my parents, and the house we stayed at, there was a dog. The dog had non-allergenic hair. And I remember I was sleeping in the basement, and in the middle of the night, the dog came down, and it started cuddling with me. I was like, what the heck is this? What's going on? And I know like I'd be okay, but I was scared, man. I was like, this animal has the possibility of killing me for being next to it. But, the dog curled up and I started petting it, and the dog started curling up with me even more, like putting its scent all over me or whatever dogs do. And well, that was probably one of the most amazing experience I've ever had with an animal, is that dog, like, for the 5 minutes that it was there curling with me, and I just kind of relaxed there, and I'm like, this is awesome. This is the closest like I've ever been with a animal in my entire life. And I honestly genuinely started to feel that connection that a lot of people have with their pets. And then the dog left and I was like, oh well, and then I went back to sleep. It was awesome. It really was. And I took an allergy test 2 years ago, and they have a scale from 1 to 4, and they shot me everything on my back that I'm allergic to. And when they brought back the test results, everything on there was a 4+. That is off the charts allergic. So I'm still very incredibly allergic to everything, and grass and pollen and mosquitoes and cockroaches and especially animals. Animals were the ones that exploded. So in order to tackle my allergies, I'm on a allergy program called immunotherapy, which is why in the beginning of the video I showed you my arms. What happens is 3 times a week I go in to get shots into my arms, what I'm allergic to. One side is animals, the other side is trees, grasses, weeds, cockroaches, mold, whatever that other stuff is. And the animal one's the one that swells up like crazy. But the thing is, they inject me a little bit more each week, every day that I go in. And it starts off 3 days a week, then it's 2 days a week, then it's one day a week, which is what I'm doing right now, 1 day a week. And for 1 day a week, my arms swell up like crazy and I can't do anything because I'm out of energy and I'm tired, and it truly, truly sucks. But what immunotherapy is supposed to do is I'm supposed to build an immunity to my allergies. And I could tell you that they're working, because my freshman year at university, I lived in the dorms, and I would say 5 days of the week, I would wake up and my eyes were swollen and puffy, and I could barely see, and it would take me forever to get myself together, and I would have to pop an allergy pill in order to feel better. And I remember in the middle of the day, I'm in acting class, and I have my scene partner, and we're supposed to do a scene, and we're about to go up and practice, and boom, puffy eyes, tearing eyes, water nose draining everywhere. And I could not commit. And that was that's one of the really things I hate about my allergies, is that they really control my life. And I've been on immunotherapy for about 1.5 years now. And I can honestly say that it has helped improve my allergies. I no longer wake up with puffy and stuffed eyes. I can actually be around pets for a longer time now. My ex-girlfriend had 2 cats and 3 dogs, and I slept over at her house for a whole week with some of the dogs and cats in my room. Although I was popping 2 or 3 allergy pills per day, but I was surviving and I was breathing okay. What was amazing is that experience. And because of that experience, my ex-girlfriend and I, we rescued a cat we found just in the middle of the street. It was blind, and we took it in and we took care of it. And I held it in my arms, and I was feeding it milk. And that it took me back to that time where that dog came up to me just in the basement and curled up with me. Because that cat, the blind cat, eventually we took care of it, we washed it, it opened one eye. So for one eye, we decided to name it Odin. Odin's son, the greatest kitten in the world. And that kitten freaking liked me so much. It would curl around my hand and not let go. It was the greatest feeling ever, relating back to, like I said, the time where the dog curled up with me, and I was like, oh, is this what it's like to be around animals? And although taking care of Odin's son incredibly close to me did, after a couple days, trigger a huge allergy reaction where I was kind of bedridden for a day or two afterwards, but still I was able to do it without going to the hospital in an hour. And that was amazing, and that was worth it. And I got to raise a pretty badass cat because I'm on immunotherapy, And I know that one day, through all of these allergy things, this allergy program, this program is supposed to take up to 5 years. And it's probably going to take 5, maybe plus years because of how bad I am to my allergies. But eventually the shots turn into 1 shot every 2 weeks, and then 1 shot every month, or 1 shot every 2 months. And then eventually I heard that the shots even go up to once per year. That is the goal that I'm working towards, and it is so hard because every time I go in to take those allergy shots, it kills me so much. I need to go in with a friend most days because whenever they upgrade my dosage, I know that my arms, they get stunned and I can barely drive myself home. But it's worth it, and it's gonna be 100% worth it to experience what it's like to live around animals. Because that bond that you create with your pets is the most beautiful and amazing thing in the world. And even though I've only got to experience it very, very little in my entire life, I'm willing to put myself through weeks and years of agonizing pain just to have that again. So just remember to be thankful for your animals. Be thankful that you can share that experience with your pets, because there are some people out there like me who can't have it. And I know a lot of people who do have their pets really take them for granted for what they are. They think of them more as a liability and a nuisance rather than the most beautiful connection someone could ever have with another living thing. Thank you very much for watching. And if you are on immunotherapy watching this video because you found it, good luck to you if you're thinking about starting immunotherapy. Do it. It's awesome. And if you're watching this video without allergies and you have pets, be grateful for your pets. Give them a little rub or a pet from me, whatever you do with animals. I'm still trying to figure out how all of that pet stuff works. And until then, have a wonderful day. And you're probably gonna wonder, what the hell is Odin doing these days? Because he's not with me. Because I'm deadly allergic to animals, so I left him with my ex-girlfriend, and that's better because it's a house of animals where he's social with other cats and other dogs. And I gotta tell you, he's in a good place, and I know he misses me, just like I miss him. This video's for you, Odin.